Recently on The View, moderator Whoopi Goldberg gets interrupted by producers and defiantly yells back. Undoubtedly, the panelists for the show are known to voice their opinions. Unquestionably, that is what makes them great at discussing topics on the air, but there are times they just don't want to follow the show lead. Whoopi Goldberg digs into her point. On Thursday, January 18, Whoopi Goldberg brings up the topic of abortion. As the panel goes back and forth about the ideas, the conversation gets a passionate rhythm among the panelists. Within the discussion, Whoopi makes a point that things should return to the way they were to better serve women, adding, "It did not require anyone to get an abortion. It only required that people stay out of your business." Then Whoopi makes a strong statement to encourage viewers. She says, "There is nothing wrong with being afraid. It's what makes you get up and make a change. So don't think because somebody says they're afraid, it's a bad thing. There's nothing shameful about being afraid." Another panelist pulls in the point that it is in effect a brave thing. Then she agrees with other panelists, saying, "I think it is brave to be afraid." But she gets an abrupt off-stage interruption that wrecks their flow. Whoopi Goldberg yells at the producer. In response, the viewers see Whoopi Goldberg lean forward, giving her attention to the producer. But she has been in a passionate moment, so she yells off to the side, "I'm sorry, what?" Then, acting a bit puzzled, she says to the audience and other panelists, "I'm getting some kind of message from Paul." Following her interaction, the camera pans to a producer in front of the stage to show Paul signaling to Whoopi. But Paul points at the screen and indicates the show needs to go to commercial break. But the hosts weren't having it. Best-selling author at Time Alberta weighs in on former President Trump's success with evangelical voters and other takeaways from his book, The Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory, that explores the group's deep ties to conservative politics. Whoopi defiantly chooses bravery. Despite The View's producer, Paul's somewhat patient plea, one of the other hosts whines, "But Paul, we're right in the middle of it." Then Whoopi Goldberg acknowledges, I see. But her body language speaks loudly as she adjusts defiantly and says, "This is very brave of me." In an act of protest, she takes her time to shift around, tightening her lips. Rather than immediately do what she is told, her animated facial expressions show she is pretending to choose what will happen. Then she nonchalantly agrees and says, as if it were her call all along, "We'll be right back." In response, the crowd laughs and claps as The View goes to a slightly off-schedule commercial break. What do you think about Whoopi Goldberg's funny assertion of her choice to send the show to commercial break? Are you enjoying The View's discussions? Tell us what you think about the show. We love to hear from fans.